up, guys? Today we're going to take a look at a figure that I have been eagerly awaiting. We have got the Marvel Legends Warlock Wave Shatterstar figure from Hasbro. Alright, now let's take a really quick look at packaging. Shatterstar comes in the kind of standard Marvel Legends style box. We've got our window, we've got the character name, we've got some artwork on the side, we've got our figure posed on the back with the wave in full view down there at the bottom. So we've got Colossus, Shatterstar, Dazzler, Polaris, Cyclops, Sunfire, and Old Wolverine, along with our Build-A-Figure Warlock. And then we've got a little write-up here at the top. And then we've got more artwork on the other side. So let's pull him out. All right, here he is. And right off the bat, I can say that I'm in love with this figure. Ever since I saw he was announced, I have been eagerly awaiting getting a hold of him. I went out hunting for this guy, and he was left behind. Someone took all of the quote-unquote heavy hitter figures from this wave and left Shatterstar behind, thankfully. So this is the one I've wanted the most out of this wave, and I'm glad to get a hold of him. Shatterstar, for those of you who don't know, is one of the founding members of the original X-Force team. He is the son of Longshot and Dazzler, and he was sent to the future as a baby, and he was used in the future to make Longshot, so he is his father's father, technically. It's a weird kind of paradox type situation. But as far as this figure goes, I am pretty pleased. I'd say 99% pleased. There's one thing that bothers me, and I'll get to that in a minute. But as far as the sculpt goes, I think it's pretty spot on. He's not the biggest character, and he fits in scale pretty well to the newer Cable. Just to show you, Shatterstar's always been a little bit shorter than Cable. And you can see that this works pretty well, I'd say. You know, this is obviously the newer style Cable, so they don't exactly match in terms of the overall aesthetic, but they fit together pretty well in terms of relative size to each other. As far as, you know, the sculpt itself goes, I think it's pretty good. He's got his headgear on. His hair is really nice. He's got that long ponytail, which is kind of a rubbery gummy plastic. He's got his kind of half cape. And then he's got his shoulder pad here, which has a nice, like, leathery type effect on it. He's got his pouches, because he's a Rob Liefeld character. He can't have too many pouches. He's got this leg piece here. And then we've got the sculpted boots down there, which look pretty good. Face sculpt is on point. I really am pleased with it. I think it looks exceptional. Paint is pretty good. We've got the, you know, kind of iconic shatter effect on the eye there with a gold eye. I think that's really, really good. And then we've got that same effect on his chest. The body is molded in white plastic. He's got black paint along the legs. Pretty clean, except for in the knee joint there. The boots are molded gray, and they have the lighter gray kind of trim, which looks really good. But again, like I said, the shoulder pad has the kind of leathery effect on it, and I think that looks really, really nice. The gloves are molded gray plastic, and the headgear also has the same kind of leathery type look. The braids are painted and have the wraps on them, as does the ponytail. There is a little bit of a wash inside the hair as well, so everything just kind of stands out really well on him. Now, the one thing that I don't particularly like about this character, or this figure rather, is the hands, and in particular, one hand. This hand. He has a trigger finger. Why does he have a trigger finger? Shatterstar uses two swords. He does not use a gun, and because of this, he actually has a hard time holding this sword. So we're going to talk about accessories now. He has two swords. They have the same kind of hilt, but it's hard to get him to hold this sword or this hand correctly because of just how the figures work. The middle finger and the ring finger are actually connected, as is the pinky. I just now noticed that. So those are all connected, and they're kind of gummy. But the trigger finger, index finger, is separate. So this doesn't make any sense for this character. Why would he have this? I'm going to have to like heat it up and then cool it down to get it in there just so he can hold it a little better. It's not like he can't hold it. Don't get me wrong. He can hold it fine. You just have to work it in there. The other hand is a normal, just kind of gripping hand, and he can hold the sword perfectly. And since we're talking about the swords, you can see that they are different. Shatterstar has had a bunch of different swords over the years. The most iconic is the double-bladed sword. Sometimes he's seen with two single-bladed swords. Sometimes he's seen with one of each, and that's what they're going for here. Sometimes he's shown with like a broadsword. Sometimes he has two double-bladed because the sword actually breaks apart, or the blades come apart. So I would have preferred to have had 2 of these, but I like the way they gave us kind of the best of both worlds to display him in, you know, one of the many different styles that he's been seen with over the years. So I like the accessories. They don't really have any paint on them or anything. They're just molded gray, silvery kind of plastic. The hand on the right is what's bothering me. I mean, I don't know if the camera will pick it up very well, but when I've been taking the sword in and out of the hand a few times, like it's already stressed the plastic to the point where it's a bit lighter on the fingers. So I will have to do something about that. You know, it's a minor gripe. It's just it's an oddity to me. I don't understand why in a character that has 2 swords that you would give him a trigger finger. Now, as far as articulation goes, this is pretty standard, so we're not going to spend much time on this since we've already talked about accessories and kind of wrap him up here in a minute. We've got a head on a ball. It can spin around just fine. The braids will get in the way here and there. You might have to move them around. He can look up and down just fine. Pretty good range of motion. The arms can go all the way out. Shoulder pad does not get in the way there. It will get in the way if you're going outwards. And he's kind of ratcheted. We've got a bicep swivel. We've got double jointed elbows. And we have a wrist and a hinge at the, or a swivel and a hinge at the wrist. We've got a waist swivel. The belt can kind of cover that joint a bit. We've got an ab crunch. And he goes over a little bit, not tons. Legs can go all the way out forward. They go all the way out to the side. He does have, you know, like I've mentioned before, he has this kind of pouches on his leg. They're not attached to the figure. They kind of have to fit snug, so you might knock them down every now and again. I haven't had tons of problems with that, but as you can see, it just happened. We've got double jointed knees. They go back pretty far. The sculpt will get in the way just on its own. There is a bit of a boot twist. Like he'll go all the way around, but you're going to have to bend the boots themselves. And then we've got a rocker and a hinge at the foot. So he has pretty much all the articulation you might expect to get from a Marvel Legends figure. So nothing too crazy, but he's got it where he needs it. So let's go ahead and wrap this guy up. All right, so overall, I think it's pretty obvious. I am a huge fan of the character, and I was really looking forward to this figure, and I don't have any real gripes about him. The hand is a problem to me, and it's just weird. It's more of a confusing type of feature than a real problem. Sure, I might have to play with it to get it to work right, but at the end of the day, you can see he's holding that sword just fine right now. It's just, you know, why give a sword-wielding character a trigger finger? What's the point of that? I know Hasbro has right hands that don't have trigger fingers on them, so you know, weird, but we can work through that. Paint apps are solid, sculpt is solid, articulation is solid, and they nailed the look of this character. I can't stress that enough. This is the classic Shatterstar look, and they really got it right. So I am very pleased that of the figures I was able to find, that I was able to get this one first. So can't be happier with him. So that's going to do it for this one, everyone. As always, stay tuned to Toy Bro for more reviews. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time.